In the spring of 2007, a small group of local residents got together. The B&O Trail Association out in Hendricks County wanted to get a group organized to develop trails in Speedway. From these very first meetings, the backbone of Speedway trails were at these initial meetings, and many of them work with me still today. But the most important person that I need to mention, I met at these meetings, and he's now my husband, and I'd like to say a big thanks to my husband, Don Katterhenry. Others at those initial meetings who started with us and who are still working with us, Marie Hall, our treasurer, Eileen Savoldi, our vice president, Linda Childers, our secretary, Herman Greenwood, Diana and Hall Virgil, John Hale, Richard Vonnegut, and Ron Carter. Thank you to all the initial people that still support us and all the new people that are here today supporting us now and the ones that will join us. Back in the early 1990s, there was a local person here in Speedway, and he's our biggest donor. He had a vision for trails in the town of Speedway and kept planting the seed as he went along, saying, we need trails, we need trails. And he was at the initial meetings, and he told us what's possible. You know, you could do this, you know, you could do that, and you could also do this. And without his vision and his large donation, we wouldn't have this trail here today. So I want a big applause for Jerry Branton. Thank you very much for everything you've done. Now that we have bought this land, we get to start building it. So we're going to have a 12-foot wide asphalt trail. It's about 1.3 miles long. And then we'll have a 4-foot gravel trail for jogging on. That was my special request of the Speedway High School cross-country team. That's all I'm going to say. It's a beautiful day and we need to get going. I'm going to introduce you to Gary Raikes. He's the president of the Speedway Town Council.
What an exciting day in Speedway. What a crowd we have here. There's folks that have been wanting and wishing and longing for this for a long time. I look at Jerry Brad, we're there. I mean, Beverly mentioned him planting seeds. Literally, he planted seeds, kept trees down the trail that he planted trees and had a vision for a lot of things that DNR would be very proud of and will extend for years to come. Thank you very much for your donation. You've been great to our community for decades. Your business has been here, you've employed people, and a true heartfelt thank you from all of us in the community for everything that you and your family have done to support us and continue to support us. Thank you. You can hear it. You've never heard engines over in June running in the background like you're hearing today. At the moment, it's kind of timely they're not running. But before we started speaking, probably before we stopped speaking, you'll hear the motors again. But what the IMS is doing, what we're doing in conjunction with that, what we're doing in conjunction with our corporate partners, Praxair to Allison and everybody in between, everybody down the street here, we're turning this town towards a very positive future. We're doing that physically with good budgeting and finding money and resources. We're doing that in partnership with the City of Indianapolis and Marion County and the State of Indiana, and I'm proud to be a part of that. I just want to thank everybody for being here today. I'm excited to introduce Cam Clark. He's the director of the Department of Natural Resources. He and I met today. I'm excited to spend more time with him because he's committed to things that we're committed to here at Speedway and his whole team. So with that, Cam, please come forward.
Thank you all for being here. It's great to see such a large crowd. I'm sure the weather had nothing to do with it. Before I introduce our first guest, a little bit about the state of trails in Indiana. Trails been a part of DNR from the beginning, and they encourage recreation, they promote a healthy lifestyle, they lead to economic development. Today we've got trails of all types throughout Indiana, regardless of what you're going to be in. We've got day hikers, backpackers, campers, we've got mountain bikers, horseback riders, blue trails for kayakers and canoeists. Regardless of your time or health, we've got trails of less than a mile and trails like the milestone that are over 50 miles in length. So we've got it all in Indiana regardless, but get out and find a trail to recreate on. Mid-'80s, about that time, is when Indiana became fully engaged in converting old rail beds into recreational trails, and we began partnering with local groups such as the Speedway Trail Association, and in partnership with private landowners like the Bratton family. And since the mid-'80s, we started that initiative. There are over 300 miles of trails just like this throughout Indiana, and that's a lot, and there's more. Bob Bronson, the DNR, will be happy to tell you what we've got going on, but you'll see many hundreds of more miles before too long up in Indiana. So I'd like to introduce Becky Skillman.
Well, it's great to be with Governor Mike, to be with community leaders in Speedway, to be with so many friends and the children. We are especially pleased to have the children here with us today. And I thank Cam. I want you to know that former Congressman Lee Hamilton and I are so honored. We are so delighted to be co-chairing the state's Bicentennial Commission. We have, as you know, we're going to have a big celebration in 2016. We have 15 highly talented commission members from throughout the state of Indiana. I see one here in the audience today. Mary McConnell with the Nature Conservancy is here with us. Logically so. Thank you, Mary. But all of us, including DNR, we are just very excited with the progress to date through this Bicentennial Nature Trust. I'll give you a little background. In 2011, state government made a $20 million commitment toward the bicentennial celebration efforts, and that was through this establishment of the Bicentennial Nature Trust. Now, you may know that during the state's centennial in 1916, the state of Indiana created the state park system. That was a big, bold move, and there were many other states that followed Indiana's model. So this Bicentennial Nature Trust was created in that same tradition of conservation, but just as important, to provide a gift to future generations. That's why we're so delighted to have the kids here today. We are indeed conserving some of the state's most precious resources, and the land that's acquired through this nature trust will be protected now in perpetuity. And you know, our group said from the beginning, we want to be the champions of genuine conservation projects, be that new or expanded forest lands, wetlands, trails, or parks. We said we wanted the projects to come from throughout the state of Indiana in every corner of our state. And there's a lot of good news on that front. The Commission, the DNR, we have already approved 79 projects. Those projects are in more than half of our Indiana counties. Some counties have more than one, but they do indeed cover the entire state of Indiana. 31 of those projects are already completed, and together that represents a total of 6.5 additional square miles of land that's now protected and open to the public. Also should know that this is the first project in Marion County, so you can be proud about that. A very special shout out goes to the Lilly Endowment, also to the Nina Mason Pulliam Charitable Trust for their ongoing generosity, for their support of the statewide conservation initiative, and we thank you all for being here and enjoy the trail.
It is really a joy to be with all of you today and to celebrate and dedicate this important new contribution to the trails in Indiana. We actually have, in total numbers, all different kinds of trails. We have 3,000 miles of trails all across the state of Indiana, and today is making a significant contribution to that. What you may not know is that back in 2006, the state of Indiana actually set a goal to have a trail within 7.5 miles of every Hoosier. And as of this month, we're actually at 98% of that goal for Hoosiers. So we're going to raise the bar again, and we are now naming today a new goal. We want to have a trail within 5 miles of every Hoosier, and we're more than 90% of the way there already. So let's put our head down and go after it. Now, Becky was kind enough to mention tomorrow's kind of a special day for me and my family. It's marking my 55th year, but really big news tomorrow is Trails Day. And in fact, it's my privilege today to publish here a proclamation celebrating not only this occasion today, but celebrating the enormous contribution the people of Indiana have made to preserving our natural resources and the enjoyment of trails. And so we are declaring June 7, 2014, in addition to other noteworthy aspects of the day, Trails Day all across the state of Indiana. We declare that here at Speedway, Indiana, with a great deal of pride. Cam was kind enough to mention Mrs. Pence and the kids and I have been spending a lot of time in our state parks. Established in 1916, our state park system was actually established to celebrate the state's centennial and showcase our state's natural beauty. And in 2012, my predecessor, Governor Mitch Daniels, and his partner, Lieutenant Governor Becky Skillman, who's with us today, announced the Bicentennial Nature Trust as a new statewide effort to honor Indiana's 200th anniversary. The Bicentennial Trust, as you've heard today, and their contribution to this project is making it possible for us to conserve some of our most precious resources. 79 projects already in more than half of Indiana's counties, 31 of which have been completed for a total of more than 4,000 acres. And there's really no better way to celebrate that than to be here and to stand at the new Speedway Trail Corridor, formerly the Peoria and Eastern Railroad, which transported, I'm told, the 3.2 million bricks that were used to pave the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in 1909. This land was acquired by the Bratton family, and today, because of their significant gift, because of the collaborative effort of Speedway, City, the Bicentennial Nature Trust, the Indiana Heritage Trust, and the Speedway Redevelopment Commission, we're making a contribution that's going to be enjoyed by generations of Hoosiers. And join me one more time in thanking the Bratton family for their vision, for their generosity, and for their graciousness. You've made a lasting contribution to the life of our state.
That's my son. Is that right? Hey, smile, Hannah.
Especially when you get driving like this, you all know. Up at Plymouth. Yeah.
She's just smashing up her first turn.
Good job. Good job. Take care. Good job.
Ricky, we need to be a part of this.
You're invited.